My name is Matthew. I was born in Illinois and I grew up in Connecticut, and I now live in Northern Virginia. This is my 5th year as a tour guide with Alexandria Colonial Tours. I started working here because I actually perform as a historical magician, and I met someone who was working on the tours and said that I would be perfect for the ghost tours, and I thought that was true as well. And so I tried out, and it has been a love affair ever since. I do not actually do magic on my tours, so this is not a magic show, but extraordinary things happen on my tours, yes. My favorite story is a wonderful night very early in my tenure. Actually, I had only been doing this for a couple of weeks, and a guy came on my tour who had been here 12 times before. This was his 12th year, and he had seen the tour over and over and over and over and over again. And that night, a ghost actually tapped him on the shoulder while everyone else was watching him, and it petrified him so badly that he actually could not move. And as I was walking down the street with the students to the next stop, he was frozen in place, and all of the other adults came and surrounded him and were basically trying to see if he was okay. And I was seriously worried that I had badly scared this guy. And at the end of the tour, as we got back to the square, he flew past me and just at a dead run. And as I stood and talked to his students after the tour, he came over to me and dragged me off to the side and slapped a roll of cash in my hand and said, I've seen this tour 12 times and I've never seen anything like this in my life. You are astounding. And when he walked away, I looked down and he had put $100 in my hand. So that was a hell of a way to start this tour. So that was my favorite experience on the tour. I did not believe in ghosts before I started this tour. I do now. Yes, people ask me all the time if I've ever seen a ghost on my tour. And I will say, and this is absolutely true, and in fact I tell this story on my tour every time I do it, that twice when I was telling the story of the female stranger at Gadsby's Tavern, people took out, and I thought this was terrifically rude at the time, but they took out their magic rectangles and they pointed them at the building while I was talking. And when I was done talking, they showed me the glass on the rectangle, and you could actually see the image of the window where the female stranger sat. And in the window, you could see the outline of a woman standing in the window. That has happened to me twice in the last 4 years, that there was definitely someone standing at that darkened window. It was kind of amazing. Also, I'm wearing a frock coat, and this is a waistcoat as well, which is kind of like a vest, what you all would call a vest. These are breeches, and these are stockings, and just normal buckle shoes. And this is called a cravat. So the cravat is, there's kind of an interesting story. Cravat comes from the word Hrvatska, which means Croatia. And in the early modern period, in like the 16th, I think, or 17th century, Croatian soldiers began wearing scarves tied around their neck to keep them healthy, because it was felt that if you kept the neck warm, that you would live longer. And so they were wrapping these scarves around their neck and tying them with a tie, and that came to be known as the cravat, or the cravat, and eventually it is what became the necktie eventually. And then finally, these straps around my hose are intended to keep my stockings up, because there is nothing more embarrassing than when your hose begins to slide down your legs. Because regardless of whether it's a ghost tour or a history class or a NASCAR race or whatever your interest is, if you spend time with someone who is passionate about what he does or what she does, you're never wasting your time. And I love my job.